Good evening and welcome to the news on TV360. My name is Emily Agu. The Senate on Tuesday has called on doctors under the umbrella of the Nigerian Medical Association to suspend their one-week industrial action, which has paralyzed activities in public hospitals. Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu made the appeal during a plenary session where Chairman of the Senate Committee on Health, Senator Ifeanyi Okonwa, intimated his colleagues on efforts being made to resolve the doctors' strike. Ekweremadu said he would like to appeal to the striking doctors on behalf of the Senate to please consider going back to work, because as long as they are on strike, the casualty will usually be on patients who are innocent of whatever agreement they had with the government. The All Progressive Congress APC has criticized the use of masked gunmen as security by the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Yola Omishore, in his ongoing campaign ahead of the August 9th election in the state. Spokesperson for the APC, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, in a statement said that the only reason Omishore could have resorted to hiring ninjas for the protection is because he is afraid of his own shadows. The party said that Mr. Omishore should borrow a leaf from Governor Rauf Aregbesola and be able to move freely among people whose voting he is craving for in the August election. APC condemned the use of the masked gun as for masked men, especially at this time when the country is threatened by insecurity. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria (FAN) has announced that the runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja will be shut again to enable some rehabilitation work to be completed. The runway of the airport had barely been reopened following its shutdown on Saturday, July 5th for some facility upgrade on the airport. Coordinating General Manager Aviation Parastatals Yakubu Dati in a statement said that the runway will be closed from Saturday, July 12th to Monday 14th for the second phase of the rehabilitation exercise. He explained that the rehabilitation of the runway is being done in two phases to curtail any inconveniences the runway closure would have on air passengers and aircraft operators. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has disclosed that it will be extending the deadline for the Bureau of Change operators in the country to comply with the new capital requirements for the sector. It has set July 31st as the proposed deadline, cautioning that it would no longer fund BDC operators that do not comply following the expiry of the deadline. In a new circular by the CBN entitled Extension of Time for the Compliance with the New Requirements for the Operation of Bureau of Change in Nigeria, and signed by the CBN Director, Financial Policy and Regulations Department, Kevin Amugo, the regulatory body stated that the interest will be paid on the mandatory cautionary deposit of 35 million naira based on the banking industry savings account rate. And now moving on to foreign stories. Israel has carried out dozens of airstrikes in the Gaza Strip, stepping up what might be considered a long-term offensive against Islamist Hamas, the military has said. At least 15 Palestinians, including 2 women and a child, were reportedly injured in the strikes. Troops have also been mobilized for a possible ground invasion aimed at stopping a heavy bombardment of rocket attacks against Israel. The strikes come after a surge of Palestinian rocket attacks on Israeli towns prompted Israel's military to bombard nearly 100 sites in Gaza. Defense lawyers in the highly publicized murder trial of South African Blade Runner Oscar Pistorius on Tuesday rested their case after months of proceedings. Lawyer Barry Rue, the chief defense lawyer, said he had finished calling witnesses to testify in the trial of Pistorius, who killed girlfriend River Steenkamp by firing through a closed toilet door in his home. The judge says final arguments will be held in court on August 7th and 8th. Chief Prosecutor Gary Neal and Rue will return to court on August 7th to make final arguments before the judge. Meanwhile, Pistorius' lawyer has said some witnesses refused to testify at the televised trial of Pistorius because of the publicity. UN Health Agency says there have been 15 new Ebola cases in Sierra Leone and Liberia since last week, as the disease, among the deadliest in the world, keeps spreading in West Africa. The World Health Organization says 34 new cases were reported by Sierra Leone and 16 by Liberia since July the 3rd. And WHO officials said in a statement Tuesday that the outbreak in those two countries and Guinea shows a mixed picture because of a reduction in the number of new cases in Guinea, where the new cases have been reported during the past week. The agency says as of Sunday, there had been 844 cases of the Ebola virus in the three countries, including 518 deaths. And that's it for the news tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Emily Ago. Do have yourself a good evening. Goodbye.